shot then.
Remarkably, Paul Pogba was the first player to score from outside the penalty area in a World Cup final since Italy's Marco Tardelli in 1982, and then a couple of minutes later, someone else does it. You wait all that time for a bus to come along.
Lovely finish.
Where does Mbappe sit? I suppose the frightening thing about the youngster is that there's still lots to come from him, isn't it? There's lots of improvement. He's still relatively raw in certain areas.
And I think that's the exciting part of it. I mean, there's so much to come now down the road. I mean, he's shaking up the entire transfer market, you know, because with the Ronaldo move now to Italy and, you know, what is Neymar doing? Maybe Eden Hazard goes to Real Madrid. Or where is this finishing with this young kid? But what really impresses me most is how he seems to be just part of that French team that's kind of a family environment. It seems like, you know, they took him all under their wings and carried him through and delivered to him, and he feels just so calm, he feels so comfortable in that side, so that it seems like he's played for them since 10 years.
He's the guy that Cristiano and Messi are handing over.
Yeah,
they're handing the crown over. Yeah, he's the guy who's going to be up there on that podium for the Ballon d'Or for the next 10 years.
One of those guys way back, 60 years ago, Pelé. Let's have a look at Pelé's. Well, he scored 2 in the final. He was 18.
Oh, this is a great goal.
What about this? Oh. There you go. So, you know, you fill in mighty shoes, Alan.
Well, to be even talking about a young boy at 19 years of age to be even shown these clips in comparison with him, and he's done it on the biggest stage now. He's now done it in the World Cup finals.
Yeah. I think 1 or 2 clubs might be chasing him.
I hope my old club's chasing him. I hope they've got the checkbook open and saying whatever it costs, we'll take you, because his connection with Manchester United. The way West Ham are spending cash at the moment, I wouldn't be surprised. But no, his connection with Pogba as well. There's a little connection there. Even you saw the pass for Pogba's goal before he caught up.
Not a little connection. This is a big connection.
Exactly.
They have these two.
Yeah. Okay. Let's pop back to the Luzhniki. Have a look at a few more of the celebrate. There you go. A bit of Pogba there. We'll be seeing that on social media at some point. Rio.
Yeah. Well, if you win trophies and you win the World Cup, you can do what you like. Trust me.
That's great.
As long as you've got a bit of rhythm.
Manchester United and Manchester City players just celebrating together there.
Yeah, I don't like that, but no, I'm joking. They've won the World Cup. You can do what you like.
Deschamps getting it again.
That's what we were saying to Jurgen today when Jurgen was at breakfast this morning. Jurgen was saying, do we have to wear jacket and tie for the final? I said, Jurgen, you've won the World Cup. You can do whatever you want.
You can get away with whatever you want. It's stunning, really. I mean, the way the whole France thing, the way they've played in this whole tournament, they've played all sorts of different kinds of football, haven't they? Sometimes have sat deep net on the counter. Against Argentina, they went toe-to-toe, didn't they?
Well, we looked at the media reports we were talking about earlier. The Belgium lads said it was anti-football the way they played against Belgium. But like you said, they've been criticised in the group stages as well, but the way they've played, they've adapted to each and every opponent they've played against. And that's a sign of a great coach, staff, and a team that can be adaptable. To win things, you can't just keep playing your own way. That's sometimes special teams can do that. Yeah. But at the end of the day, they got the job done. And when people look back on it in the record books, they won't go, oh, they didn't really play that good football. And the players will be sitting on the beach this summer going, you know what, I don't care how we done it, we got the medal.
And they also had 2 players that scored 4 goals each. And I think we should congratulate Harry Kane. Harry Kane has won the Golden Boot, so well done, Harry. England have won something at this World Cup anyway. France beat Argentina, they beat Uruguay, they beat Belgium, and then they beat Croatia in the final. I mean, that's a tough run in anybody's book.
They've got a great spine right throughout the middle of the team. When you look at Lloris, when you look at Varane, who I thought was immense again.
And TT as well.
Yeah, and TT, Pogba in there, Kante.
No real weakness in that side.
No, I think the hardest part for him is probably picking the actual squad, because there's that much players in the squad. But you look at Giroud. Giroud doesn't hit the target in the whole tournament. No. But he's got a World Cup winners medal, so
he's done a job. He's done a job. I mean, he is a goal scorer.
He did the work for the team.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He put himself totally, at his disposal for the team, and this is a great example, a great compliment as well. Yeah. No, Didier Deschamps has done a tremendous job, because he took every single game 1000% seriously, and he kind of changed little pieces, where a lot of people can say whatever they want to, but he adjusted from game to game to game, and it's 7 games in a row that you have to do that, and he did it, and he deserves a huge compliment.
It's been a World Cup of extraordinary events and extraordinary goings-on, and the 6th goal in that game from Mandzukic was
an error like that.
The awards are going to start very shortly. They're a little bit delayed, apparently. But who's going to win the Golden Glove, do you think?
Courtois?
Courtois, yeah.
Courtois. I suppose Courtois, Lloris with a...
Pickford was very good as well. Pickford.
Subasic had a let forward in the final. I don't. Do they wait? Do you know, till after the final, or do they make the decisions prior to the final?
I don't know.
I wonder.
Jürgen
Make a big difference, though, wouldn't it? On what
we
we've
would
seen
hope
today?
that they wait until the game is over.
Mm.
I think maybe Lloris. I mean, he played a tremendous tournament, but that costs him probably the Golden Glove.
Yeah.
That goal, you know. And I think Courtois had an outstanding tournament throughout.
Let's remind ourselves of the first half of goals, and well, lots of controversy, weren't there? Certainly with, well,
own goal, wasn't it?
About Croatia, once these decisions happened and they win a goal down and it went 2-1, the reaction of the team, that they can only be credited for that.
Yeah, they're proud of themselves, but they must feel a bit hard done to.
Yeah.
On over the 90 minutes, Jürgen.
Yeah, especially on the penalty. I think, you know, this is still a defensive mistake. You know, they should have pushed it higher up, you know, on the free kick. And then an own goal is always very, very unlucky. But I mean, imagine now how that nation is proud of their team. You know, the Croatian team will go back to they will be heroes. I mean, and there's more to come. I think, you know, this team is even hungrier for the next tournament. You know, it has so much class, it has so much quality in their side, but it's small pieces, small little details that decide a game like that.
They do deserve great credit because they kept on going. To be behind in every knockout game, to go to extra time, to pick yourself up, to keep on going. Again in the in this final here, to go behind in controversial circumstances, then to have the energy to pick themselves up and come back again and to make it into the final that it was. Yeah, they go back heroes, and rightly so.
Don't worry if you're watching at home and thinking we might be missing the present.
That's why he was earmarked before the tournament as a threat, as a danger.
That goal really shows you the character of the team because, you know, as Rio said, they could have cleared it 3-4 times, but they've won every one-on-one battle in the first half, Croatia. Yeah. Every one-on-one battle, they threw themselves in there. And this is a heritage, but that was the whole first half belonged to Croatia.
They've shown great character right throughout the tournament.
Yeah, they have. As I said, going behind in every knockout game, extra time, having the belief.
So three times extra time, that's a whole game.
Yeah. Exactly.
90 minutes. No?
Who would you give the, we're about to find out, but who would you give the Ballon d'Or to? Or not the Ballon d'Or, the Golden Ball.
Golden Ball. I think...
Tight.
It was tight. Before this, I was leaning towards Modric before this game because I think he's controlled the pace of the game, along with Rakitic, for this very, very good Croatian team and got into a final. But I can't get my head away from Mbappe. 19 years old.
Imagine even the fact that we're talking about the possibility that he could win it is
and what's unbelievable about it is that at 19 years old, he's already got defenders on the back foot. With just getting the ball. He gets on the ball, immediately defenders are now backing off because they know what he's capable of. And he's direct, he drives at people, and defenders don't like having to defend like that. And he is a player who's just so refreshing to see.
Prior to this game, most of the talk was really either Modric or possibly Kante or even De Bruyne, who also had a wonderful.
Well, I said before the game, didn't I? I think this game had the two outstanding players, and whoever was to perform the best, and whether that be Modric or whether that would be Mbappe, I think would be the player of the tournament. And Mbappe did that in this game today. Look, his energy and his drive and his intelligence, and of course to top it off with a goal. And I think he should get it.
I think we can have a
balance. He holds his position. He stays wide for the good of the team because he knows it will come to me at some point. Then I'll make my difference.
Another player who's excelled in this tournament and indeed in the final. And
People have questioned his discipline in the midfield.
He's not that he's been a bad player in any way, shape or form.
I mean, what we've seen in the media and people, pundits, etc., have been questioning his discipline in a midfield area, defensive responsibility, running back. He showed in this tournament, I've got all that. Don't worry, but for some reason it hasn't been the jigsaw hasn't been put together properly yet in a Manchester United shirt because I think Jose Mourinho is going to really. I said it earlier. He's going to have to unlock this Paul Pogba in a Manchester United shirt.
Why do you think he's not been able to do that particularly? I mean, he's been good, but without being as great as he has been in this tournament.
I'm not sure. I think Manchester United the way the team plays, maybe I think are they getting the ball to him in the right areas? You have to remember when he played for Juventus. And the reason why Manchester United paid all that money for him is because he was affecting games. He was affecting games with either passes or with goals, etc. But in the Manchester United shirt, he's not receiving the ball off a Pirlo so quickly sometimes. Sometimes the ball maybe is not getting to him quick enough in the right areas. Is he being put in the right positions at the start of the game in the structure of the team? These are questions, really. This is the question. This is why you're employed as a manager, to work these things out.
It helps when you've got Kante alongside you, though.
Yeah.